30 minutes later or something. But yeah, you totally distracted me from my work because I was like, I just want to kiss you on the lips. You are gorgeous, honey. But yeah, if you were sitting at Shortwave Coffee today next to me, you should have shot your shot because you were beautiful.
Hey friends, this is Tay again with another reaction video. And today we're going to be talking about men approaching women, okay? Now this young lady right here in the brown sweater is Courtney Ryan. She's a very popular YouTuber. She talk about dating and relationships, okay? But it seemed more geared towards men than women. And I really don't have anything bad about what she says. I don't always agree, but I don't have anything bad about most of the stuff she do say. She seems sometimes on point about what she think men feels when they're going through certain situations when it comes down to dealing with the modern woman. Now this woman on the right, her name is Snyder. She's a very popular YouTuber, Instagram, TikTok, you know, the pretty blonde, you know. She's gonna be popular just for the mere fact she's attractive, okay? She don't really have to say anything, but she does like lifestyle, travel, all that stuff, and she also talk about relationships and her situation. It's basically her world. It's all about her, basically, okay? But a lot of people subscribe to her. I have no beef against her either. She can make her money. I have no problem with that at all, okay? Now in this particular video, she's talking about, and I'm talking about Snyder here. She's talking about she was in a coffee shop and she saw a man she found attractive and she didn't know exactly what to do, okay? She wanted this man to approach her. She goes into the story about the situation and how she handled it, and she wanted to know from the audience if she handled it right or wrong or whatever. And Courtney Ryan, you know, after watching and reacting to the video, she gave her ideas of what she thought the girl either did right or wrong or whatever, and kind of tried to explain how men feel about approaching women these days. Because right now out there, men having issues approaching women because of what's going on in the modern day world. It seems like everything's against men, especially if you're like the 80% of guys, okay, out there. And you know, it's very difficult now to approach women because a lot of the times the women can be pretty rude and mean to you when you approach them. It's almost like they're offended or something just because you want to talk to them, okay? Not unless you probably the 20%, 10%, the 5%. It's definitely the 1%, okay? Those are the guys, most of that they don't have to approach them. And I think when she goes, Snyder, I think when she's talking about this dude in the coffee shop, I think he probably fall into the 20%, okay, of guys she feel like she deserve, okay? Now Courtney gave her advice about what's going on and what she thought, you know, how men should act, maybe what's going through a man's mind when it comes down to hitting on women, okay? And I just want to give you my side of what I think, since I am a man and I have dated women. So I'm going to give you what I thought about the situation. So we're going to be reacting to Snyder's TikTok video, okay? But before we do, please like, subscribe, and share this video. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you know whenever we come out with new videos, okay? All right, let's get started.
Discussion on my single people because I need to know what you guys would have done in this circumstance. They always say like you'll meet the person that you want to start dating or the person that you're with doing things that you love, whether it's going to the coffee shop, the gym, just your everyday activities, whatever. So today I go into the coffee shop and the second I walk in, I see the most beautiful man, just like...
Okay, I just want to describe something, okay? Now, for a beautiful woman like her, okay, I'm sure it's not difficult for her to get men, okay, or get a date. But she wanted a specific type of guy. Now I notice women like this who have like careers, they're very attractive, they make a little money or whatever. I think this girl probably got a lot of money, okay, because she does a lot of travel. Because I checked her out before I did this video, okay? So she's very popular on YouTube and TikTok or whatever, right? So I'm sure she got a lot of money, okay? So she probably looking for a specific type of man. Most likely, like I said, in the 20%. Okay, and I have no problem with that. And if whoever you want to be with, that's your choice, and everybody should have their own choice on who they want to date and marry. No problem with that at all. And like I say, again, I don't want to down this woman for her choices or anything like that. I just want to talk about what she's talking about and possibly either what the man was thinking or what he should have done, or if he's if he was even interested, okay? All right, I just want to go into that. But I wanted to say is I notice women like this, they go to specific places to meet men, okay? It's not like by accident, you know. It's like, now I understand if they have to go to a drugstore to get some medicine or something like that, then they'll do that. Okay, but they pick specific places to go, hoping to meet men when they single like this, okay? They'll go to very expensive grocery stores. They'll go to specific coffee shops where they know that a lot of businessmen or whatever might show up in these places. They go to specific clubs. You know, they usually plan everywhere they go. They make sure. It always have to be nice, but it definitely have to have men of a certain type of caliber to be there for them to want to be there. They're just not going to just go anywhere just at any time. You know, they're not just going to hang out at McDonald's or something like that, okay? Because they don't want to be hit on by the wrong guy in their eyes, okay? So they figure if they go certain places where the men that they want hit on them, then it will give them a better chance of finding the kind of man they want to marry, basically. And like I said, I have no problem with that at all, okay? Men do the same thing. We go places where we know there's a lot of women there, hopefully mostly attractive women, okay? So I have no problem with that, but let's continue.
Gorgeous features, brown hair, incredibly tall. I'm like, you are so my type to a T. Very business-esque energy to him too. And I'm like, yeah, that's definitely my type. He was sitting across the cafe. I'm like, I should make some eye contact with him. Let him know there's vibes here.
Say I should say that's her type, okay? You know what I mean? She probably specifically go to this coffee shop knowing these type of men go there. Like, it's most likely you'll find it in like a big city in the middle of like downtown or something like that, where there's a lot of businesses there, you know, lawyers, doctors, things of that sort. And a lot of the time, these guys will stop by these coffee shops to grab a coffee or something, right? That's usually a staple kind of a thing for people to do. And so they kind of hang out at these places, hoping that they can see a lot of good-looking men. It takes a while to find spots like this where you know that there's quality men and women there. But once they do find it, they'll frequently visit these places, okay? And she obviously, I'm sure this is not the first time, but she probably really saw somebody that she really, really liked. Okay, so much so that she literally had to go on TikTok and talk about it. But let's continue.
But didn't end up like looking up from my computer or whatever. So I'm like, I'll just have no earbuds in so I look approachable, because I've been told I don't look approachable. So I'm trying to do everything I can to make myself look approachable to this man.
Women are very strategic. I want to talk about that, okay? Now, she just said that she took out of her earphones so that way she'll look approachable, okay? Because it looks like when she got her earphones on, she don't want to be approached. And a lot of women take it like that. For example, Hitchens, with Will Smith, there was a scene when he went into a club or whatever it was, bar or whatever, right? And he saw the leading lady sitting down with her glasses on, and she had a certain type of drink. And he pretty much called her out for it, right? Because she looked like she don't want to be bothered. She was just there to have a drink. So she kind of styled her hair in a certain way. She had her glasses on, stuff like that. If she was trying to attract men, she would look different. She probably wouldn't be wearing her glasses. Or, you know, she probably would have her hair down, and she probably have a different type of drink, maybe be with a friend, kind of a thing, right? So women definitely will do certain things to keep other men from hitting on them, the men that they don't want to hit on them. Like, for example, if you see a girl walking down the street with a phone in her hand, okay, and you know she ain't talking to nobody, right? She's just walking down the street constantly with a phone in her hand. I ain't saying she'll never be talking with it, but a lot of times they do this so just in case somebody might stop and try to talk to them, they can ignore them because they can pretend like they're on the phone or something like that, or have headsets. So this is like a tactic in a way. Look, don't get me wrong. She might have been working on her computer, okay? She might have been editing because this is her job, kind of a thing, right? I ain't saying that it's always the case. I'm just saying that women know when they don't want to be bothered, they'll make sure that they look like they're busy or something like that, right? But when they want to be hit on, just like she said, she took those earphones out of her ear. So that way it gives him the opportunity to know that she's not busy. She's not trying to be putting him off or anything like that. She's trying to make herself available for him to approach her. So like I said, man, so if you see a woman and she look really, really busy, she could be busy or she just don't want to be bothered. It could be both, either way. But I just wanted to point that out.
He ends up walking over and sitting right next to me. And how it's set up in this coffee shop is there's like one long booth and then a table in front of yourself and then a chair on the other side of you. So he's sitting right next to me in this booth. And I'm like, perfect opportunity. So I'm patiently waiting for him to like spark up a conversation, but like what would he have said? And I was too nervous to be bold and be like, hey, you're really hot. My name's Lauren. Here's my number. But like,
well, you don't have to say that. I mean, okay, I remember one time I was going to like a sandwich place, right? And a lot of pretty girls kind of go to this place. I didn't go there because of pretty girls. I was working at the time. I was hungry. So I was taking a break. And so I wanted to get a sandwich, a salad, or pizza, or something like that. I forgot what I got anyway. And I was wearing this particular type shirt. It was a nice shirt, one of my favorite shirts. I really liked it. And a cute girl, she was with, I guess, her mother or something like that. And I ain't talking about little girl. I'm talking about a woman, okay? She probably was in her early 20s. And she stopped me and she said, that's a really, really nice shirt. And I thanked her for it. You know, she didn't have to say a thing. She could have just said it to her mother or just thought it in her mind or whatever. But something made her go out of her way to say it to me. Now, did I pursue it or anything like that? No, of course not. I was hungry. I just went in there to get something to eat, okay? But that would have been a good icebreaker right there. If she would have said that, something like that. Oh, you know, how you doing? That's a nice a jacket you're wearing or something like that, just to break the ice. Women can do that, you know, just to let him know that she noticed him, okay? But I guess she decided not to do that. She wanted to be all on him, okay? Sometimes a lot of these pretty women just want to be there, and for the kind of men that they want to date, they want them to just automatically come to them. But she got to understand, and I'm gonna say this clearly. Most likely the kind of man that she wants, the 20% type man, is not going to just walk up to her. Okay, now it could have been a good icebreaker if she was like in a club or something like that. You know, she had a couple of drinks in her. She might have approached him. Or maybe one of her friends might have introduced her to him or whatever the situation is. It would have been a lot easier. But it was in a coffee shop, okay? So it was harder because, I mean, certain places are very difficult. I hear a lot of people say, hey, approach people in grocery stores and libraries, stuff like that. That's not an easy thing to do, okay? I mean, if you got the super, super confidence and don't care how you look, if she turned you down or he turned you down, then maybe you could do that. But in a lot of cases, most people don't want to do that in certain places, okay? And she probably felt that same way. But she has to know, and I'm sure she does. It's very difficult for a man to walk up to a woman in a coffee shop and just start talking to her. I don't care how good looking he is. I don't care how confident you think he might be or whatever the situation is. He's not just going to just in a coffee shop just walk up to you and start trying to rap to you like you're in a club or something, okay? He's not going to do it, all right? Especially in this climate these days, right? Because this is what I do agree with Courtney Ryan, because she mentioned that, you know, these days women can be very rude or they can be, you know, put you off or whatever, you know, act very funny, you know, when you try to approach them and talk to them. You don't know how they're going to act. You don't know what this guy been through. You don't know if he had a girlfriend or not. She has no clue about anything, right? So she could just made herself available. Because these days, well, from my understanding, like in England, sometimes women will say you're harassing them. The climate is really, really bad right now for dating. It's very difficult for the modern woman and modern men these days. The dance isn't like years ago when I was younger, when it was easier just to walk up to a girl. Yes, you get turned down, same experience, but we won't be accused of harassment and things like that. So, you know what I mean? It just, I'm not interested, or I got a boyfriend or whatever, right? And that's it. And then you push on to the next, all right? But not all of a sudden now they contact the HR or they contact the manager of the coffee shop talking about, oh, this man harassing me. That's a possibility. It's crazy, but it's a possibility. All right. All right. I just want to mention that. But let's continue.
I could have done that, but like that's a little too ballsy of me. And like I wanted him to just show a little confidence, maybe like pursue a little bit, because I think that's the most attractive thing in a guy. But I'm like, the fact that he got up and sat right next to me, he didn't even have to like charge his computer or anything because he didn't reach out to grab a charger, because I'm like, oh wait, why did he move across and sit next to me? So that made me a little.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, look, most men. I'm gonna go ahead and give you ladies some information. If you a guy and there's beautiful women inside wherever you are, and everybody's sat down, you can probably sit down to the closest beautiful woman you could, right? Why wouldn't you do it? Okay, you know, even if your intention is not to talk to her, but men like beauty around them. If that makes sense. Men love that kind of stuff. Sometimes men will go to a club and don't talk to nobody, but they just want to go to a club or bar just to see beautiful women. And then after they have their few days, they'll just leave. And then I know women probably thinking, why would he do that? Or they might go on a yacht or whatever, just to see beautiful women around them. Some men just want beautiful women around them. So he might have been attracted to her, but he probably had no intention on hitting on her or anything like that, right? Not unless she gave some type of indication she wanted to be hit on. And these days, you got to be very careful, especially with a lot. Most likely, this guy probably was close to her age. So I'm putting them both in the same modern day type situation where he probably got to be very careful about how he act. He probably got a good job. He probably, that's probably a regular place that he visit. The last thing he want to do is mess up something that he want. Because, like, for example, some places that I go to, for example, like my favorite spots, okay? I'll see a beautiful woman and I want to talk to her, like probably behind the counter or behind the bar or whatever the situation is, right? But then I'll hesitate not do it because if things don't go right, then your favorite place that you come to, then you got to deal with these people again, okay? So he probably preferred not to, try to hit on women in coffee shops where he liked to go to and mess that up. Because let's just say she was crazy, okay? Let's just say she was nuts. And she decided to call the manager saying he harassed her and all this kind of crazy junk, right? So it's going to be difficult for him to come back to that coffee shop, okay? So if he was interested, he probably was like, look, if I sit near her, maybe she'll let me know that she's interested in me somehow. Because women can give signs or whatever to let you know she's available or whatever. But until then, he's not going to mess up a place that he probably go to every morning or something, okay? All right, but let's go ahead and continue. And I just want to say this too. She was like, he had to show some kind of confidence because that's what I'm attracted to. She already making assumptions all of a sudden now. Okay, now if he don't hit on her, what does that mean? He don't got confidence? Or it could be the fact he might not be interested. That's a possibility. Yes, she is attractive, and I'm sure she feels that she is attractive, and men should have the privilege of wanting to hit on her, but not every man gonna want to date this woman. It's possible, right? It's possible.
Curious. So, anyways, bummer. To make a long story short, we didn't end up having any conversation, and he got up probably 30 minutes later or something. But yeah, he totally distracted me from my work because I was like, I just want to kiss you on the lips. You are gorgeous, honey. But yeah.
Oh yeah, she was feeling that dude. She wanted to kiss him on the lips. So much she even talking about it. It shows a certain type of desperateness. Now, this is what I find very curious, man. You know what? The most fun I had with women are the most attractive ones. And I'm gonna explain that, okay? Whenever I used to go out to bars or whatever, right? The most fun I ever had was with beautiful women. Some about average women and probably less attractive women, they're not that fun. They're kind of serious or they have some type of chip on their shoulders, which take the fun away. But whenever I'm around beautiful women, they seem to always want to, have fun and laugh and just have a good time. As long as you don't piss them off or something, right? They like to have fun. They just a joy to be around, okay? But another thing is they're very insecure about a lot of things, right? When a guy they like aren't interested in them, they think something wrong with them, okay? They'll try to figure out why. They'll sit there. Back in the day before social media, they'll probably be talking with their girlfriend or whatever, trying to figure out why, this guy didn't like him, like this girl. But now because we have social media, they like to go to the audience now. She's trying to ask advice. What did I do wrong? Can you tell me? I literally believe she's going to read all the comments. And most likely, most of the women are going to be like, it ain't you girls, him, something wrong with him, blah, 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 blah. You look beautiful, go queen kind of a thing, right? And she probably going to ignore most of the men that commented. Well, maybe he was just nervous. Maybe he had a girlfriend, whatever. She going to skip over all that, right? She just going to look at the women stuff, right? Because that's all she really talking to is the women. So her insecurity is kind of showing right here, right? Because even though when you see women, when they like on the Instagram, they posing sexy and all that kind of stuff, it might show a certain type of confidence. But the truth of the matter is a lot of them are very insecure. And something about that turns them on when dealing with a kind of guy that they really, really like. Because she just said she would love to kiss this dude, right? So she was highly attracted to him. And yet 30 minutes afterwards, he didn't say a word to her and he left. Okay, so that kind of messed their world up. Okay, it kind of messed their world up. Now she wondering, did she do something wrong? Did she wear the wrong outfit? Did she put on her makeup wrong? Was it her hair or whatever? There's probably all kind of stuff racing through her head right now, trying to figure out what she did wrong. This man probably didn't even look at her, and it's like destroying her whole world. Okay, so much so she felt like she got to go on TikTok to talk about it. Okay, really destroy. Like I say, when you see beautiful women, they have their insecurities just like everybody else, right? Some men, like players, right? They'll use that to their advantage, right? I remember this guy was talking about, right? Whenever he come across a beautiful woman, he'll give them some type of insult in a way, like mention like you got like big feet or something like that, or your eyes look crossed or something like that, right? Even though he lying, but he want to bring out that insecurity in a woman. That way she'll drop her defenses. That way he can talk to her. You don't look. Some women probably consider that, oh, that's mean, that's nasty. You shouldn't approach women like that. But his goal was not to hurt her. His goal was to figure out a way to, bring her down to his level. Because a lot of these women think they're better than most men, okay? And I'm sure this girl felt that way. And she probably automatically thought if this man saw her, that he'll automatically come to her. But he didn't. And that just messed everything up in her mind. So now she got to figure out what's the reason. And that's the reason why she's on TikTok. So this guy trying to bring down her, her arrogance to his level. That way now I can talk to her. Now she'll hear what I got to say. Now she'll give me a chance at least. Okay? Because if it was any other average dude, man, she wouldn't have took off her headset. She probably was on her computer doing her thing. She would ignore them completely. She wouldn't even know that he was there. I'm gonna give you another example of what I'm talking about. I guess it was a guy with a woman, right? They was talking about dating or whatever the situation, right? And I guess this woman was complaining about she couldn't find a man or whatever, right? And this guy was trying to prove to her that her standards are too high. Okay, too high. So he did an experiment. So he's like, look, what about that dude? And she's like, what dude? He said, that dude. And she's like, what dude? The one standing there. And she was like, you mean behind the mailman? He was like, no, I'm talking about the mailman. She like completely ignored the mailman. Like he was nothing. Nothing to her. He was just showing her that her standards is too high. She looking for love. Find somebody that love you. But she was looking for something specific. Just like I believe this young woman is. Again, I'm not criticizing her. She wants what she wants. That's fine. But something about this particular situation really messed her up. Because, I'm sure she got a lot of guys in her DMs talking about how beautiful she is. She's amazing. And I'm sure it's guys after she did this. And that's another reason I believe she got on this too. Because if the guy's telling her, giving her real criticism, she's going to ignore it. But if the guy's telling her she a queen, she's beautiful, I can't believe that guy. If I was there, I would have talked to you. She wanted that confirmation that she's beautiful. And that's part of the reason why I believe she's on TikTok talking about this right now, okay? Very interesting stuff. The psychology of beautiful women is very fascinating to me, okay? I have no problem talking to beautiful women. Look, I'm not a beauty here, okay? I'm not in the ugly category, but I'm not in the 20%ers kind of a thing situation at this point. I mean, back in the day, yeah, I used to get a lot of chicks, man, right? But older you get, the more difficult it is. But what I'm saying is, like, I could talk to beautiful women without any problem. In most places, I mean, there's times I'm not in a mood, or I think it's inappropriate for me to do it, but I can do it. I have no problem talking with beautiful women because, my line of work, I've done photography and all I did was shoot beautiful women. I've done videography, shot beautiful women. I was in situations where I was around a lot of beautiful women. I worked at jobs with beautiful women. I mean, I did it. I had no problem with talking to beautiful women at all, okay? Trust me, at all right? It's not a problem for me, but it is a problem for a lot of men to do it. Now I can understand why, especially growing up in these day and times. Very, very difficult because now it's like almost it's offensive for you just to do it. If you don't have, 6 figures, tall, good looking, like she described this dude, right? If you don't have all these things, man, you might as well just go ahead and forget about it. Just forget about it, all right? But you could, like I said, you can tell this messed her world up. She's a popular TikToker, social media person. She's beautiful. She's in the city of beautiful people. I'm assuming she's in LA or one of these places, right? One of these liberal liberal states, right? And they go there specifically for that too. That's another thing too, right? They go to these cities like New York or California so they can meet not only attractive men but men with money. These women also do this, especially beautiful women. It was another girl that I saw a video, a black woman. She was talking about she used to watch Sex in the City, and that's the reason why she moved to New York. Now she's hating it because it's nothing like that, okay? Especially now, okay? Because New York is really messed up right now, okay? But that just give you the mindset of these women, right? They go places where they feel like they can meet the best men, have the most attractive friends, have a great living situation, great apartment, great house, or whatever situation is, right? I don't fault them for this, okay? Just to be clear, I don't fault her for any of this, right? But even though she have all of these things, this one situation inside a coffee shop where a man did not speak to her made her world crashing down. And why is that? Okay? Why is that? She got everything. I'm sure many of you seen this girl videos and stuff. She's traveling. She doing what she want, buying all these clothes, doing everything she does, having fun, all that kind of stuff. Why did this one little thing mess her up like this? And why did she not have the courage to say something to this man?
If you were sitting at Shortwave Coffee today next to me, you should have shot your shot because you were beautiful. But anyways, I want to know what you guys would have done in that circle. We need to have
Okay. Maybe she think this guy's on social media. Maybe she hoping he see this video. Okay. He probably didn't. He probably don't even care. Look, if he is good looking as she thought he was, there's a good chance he had a girlfriend. Do you think she cared? She wanted him regardless. Even if he mentioned, well, I do got a girlfriend, right? She'd be still hoping that he pursued her regardless. I mean, of course, she would have held it against him later, talking about you a cheater and all this other junk, right? But at that moment, she wanted this dude. She didn't care if you're married or what. And this is my opinion, okay? Because she's talking as if, because she don't know nothing about this guy. She don't know if the reason why he ain't talked to her because he had a woman already. And it was a good chance he probably did if he is as attractive as she described him as. But she didn't care. She just wanted him. And now she pissed. He could have shot his shot. You see how she said that? You missed a great opportunity. That's basically what she's saying. And she hoping you see this video to let you know you missed a great opportunity and you probably won't have it again. But I doubt it. If she would run into this dude at a club or something like that, I believe she would have talked to him. I would still believe that, okay? But that's my opinion. You know, like I said, I agree with Courtney Ryan, sorry. I agree with Courtney Ryan about a lot of things she said, but she looked at things in a woman's point of view. Even though a lot of the times she's trying to help men with these particular situations, I think it will help a lot of women if they understood how men think. I think it does. This dude, man, like I say, man, it's very difficult for these guys to approach women. I don't care how confident or attractive these guys are. Let me give you another example. Jack Nicholson, Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay, now you would think a lot of these guys, they rich, some of them attractive, whatever. They would, be able to just walk up to girls and talk to them, because most likely these girls will say yes regardless, right? But they got their friends, they got people who work for them to do it for them. So if the girls say no, it wasn't him that did it. Okay, so that showed you right there the lack of confidence right there. Okay, because most men would literally have to go and say that, because it seemed like if I had a friend and I sent my friend over to a girl to speak on my behalf, that's high school stuff. Okay, then she gonna right there be thinking I ain't got no confidence. So why would she even be interested in that when I got to send my friend over there? Now, if I was like a billionaire, and I sent somebody over there, then she would understand this is how billionaires and millionaires operate. Okay? This is how they do things. They don't come themselves. They send other people. Okay? See, that's the difference. All right? So she just don't get it how men see things, how men operate. She had some expectations that did not happen. She just automatically thought this was going to fall in her lap. But see, I don't know her history. Maybe she got turned down a lot back in her day. Maybe she wasn't as attractive as she used to be. And maybe those old feelings are coming back on her now. But I don't think this man, meant any harm against her. He probably just had other things on his mind. You know what I'm saying? The last thing, look, if he's attractive, he probably trying to make money, he's trying, dealing with stuff. He probably had an argument with his girlfriend, he's distracted. He probably had a business deal he was doing, he was thinking about, you know what I mean? And it ain't like every attractive man that goes places is trying to hit on women. They just like a beautiful women, attractive guys will go specifically to a place to hit on women. He probably just went there to enjoy a cup of coffee. Maybe a muffin or something. I don't know what the guy ordered, but whatever. That's probably the last thing on his mind, thinking about hitting on somebody. And he probably sat there because there was a space there, okay? Who knows, right? Who knows? But she obviously got offended over this, okay? And I guess if I could say something to this young lady, or if somebody that usually go to her channel that watch this, you can tell her this. She shouldn't get offended by this. It probably don't have nothing to do with her. Okay, nothing. All right? And that's all I pretty much got to say. I really appreciate all of you coming by. Thanks again. This is T and peace.